How's it going, everybody? And welcome to a special episode of the Talk Sports Show on Sunday, January 21st. Let's get right into the episode. Here are my 6 college basketball upset picks for today. My first one is UTSA plus 16 to upset FAU, and 67% of the tickets that people are putting money on are going to UTSA, and 33% of the tickets that people are putting money down on are going to FAU, which, again, the point spread line, the line here is plus 16, with UTSA being the underdog by 16 points. But I do like putting money down on UTSA here plus 16 to upset the University of Florida Atlantic. My second upset is Niagara plus 5.5 to upset Mount St. Mary's. 59% of the money is being put on Niagara, which when I say 59%, I mean people that are betting on these games, 59% of the tickets are going to Niagara, and they're taking Niagara plus the points for the upset. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to take that too. My third upset is Wagner plus 4.5 to upset Sacred Heart. And 67% of the money that is being placed in this game is being placed on Wagner plus the 4.5 points, compared to 33% of the money people put down on this game going to Sacred Heart. So the books think there's going to be an upset here, and so do I. That was my third upset. My fourth one is LIU plus 8.5 to upset Central Connecticut State. And there was no ticket prop thing for this, but I'm going to assume they really like LIU to pull the upset here. I could be wrong, but we'll see. My fifth upset is Maryland plus 1 to upset Michigan State, and 52% of the money being put down on this game is going toward Maryland plus 1 for the upset, and 48%, which this is close, 48% of the money is going to Michigan State to cover that spread and win. And my last upset is Oregon plus 6 to upset Utah. And the money here looks a lot more lopsided toward Utah. It is Oregon. 24% of the tickets that people are putting money down on are going Oregon plus 6, and 76% of the money is going toward Utah minus 6. And my plan B, the Talk Sports Show plan B play for today, is Memphis versus Tulane over 168.5. Again, that is Memphis versus Tulane, 168.5 points over. Now, I will be giving you my NBA upset picks. My first NBA upset pick is the Orlando Magic +1 to upset the Miami Heat. And 63% of the tickets being put down on this game that have to do with money are going towards the Orlando Magic here. And the other half, 37% of the money is going toward the Heat -1. And I like the Magic side of this +1, and I would put some money down on this game with the Magic winning +1. Again, the line could change before the game starts, so be cautious. Any of these upsets that I tell you about, whether it's college basketball or the NBA today, watch the line before the game. If it moves and you feel like the upset's not going to happen, go with your gut. Don't let your brain tell you to go with the upset if you don't think the upset's going to happen. Because I think some of these upsets will happen. My second upset is the Indiana Pacers +5 to upset the Phoenix Suns. 46% of the money, the slips that are being put in with money on them, are going toward the Pacers +5 for the upset here. That means 54% are going toward the Suns -5. But I like the 46% of people that are putting money down on the Pacers +5 to pull the upset here. And this last upset is going to shock you. It is Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets +11.5 to upset the LA Clippers. And the money that's being put down on this game it's astronomical. 65% of people are putting in betting slips for Brooklyn +11.5 to upset the LA Clippers. And if you don't believe me that this is very lopsided, look at the other end. The Clippers are 35% of the slips that have money on them that are being put in by bettors. Only 35% are going with the Clippers -11.5, which I think is kind of absurd. I think it should be more even, but I'm taking Brooklyn +11.5. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is some college football record predictions for 3 teams. The first one being Rutgers. Let's get their schedule up. Screen share. Start with Rutgers. And I have Rutgers winning 8 or 9 games, I believe. Let's see. 7 or 8 games. So let's start. So Rutgers, they started the year against out at home against Howard. That's a win. So they're 1-0. Week 2, they play Akron at home. That's a win. So they're 2-0. Going into the Virginia Tech game, which I think Virginia Tech's going to be very good this year. And you will see their schedule record prediction in a minute. So that's just a little teaser. But I've got them losing to Virginia Tech. So they're 2-1. Then they play Washington. That's going to be a loss. So they're 2-2. At Nebraska, I think that's a win. So they're 3-2. At home against Wisconsin, loss. So 3-3. At home against UCLA, win 4-3. At USC, loss 4-4. I think they beat Minnesota 5-4. Beat Maryland 6-4. Lose to Illinois 6-5, and beat Michigan State 7-5. So, my way too early record prediction right now before we get to August is Rutgers goes 7-5. The next team I'm doing a record prediction on is West Virginia. And West Virginia starts the year at home against Penn State. I think that's a win. So they're 1-0. And I've got West Virginia winning 9 or 10 games this year, ladies and gentlemen. So West Virginia starts 1-0. I think they're going to start 2-0 after they beat Albany. Then they get Pitt on the road at Pitt. I think that's a win. So they're 3-0. At Arizona is where they take their first loss. So they're 3-1. Then they go to Cincinnati. I think that's a win. So they're 4-1. And then they go at Oklahoma State. Lost 4-2. Beat Texas Tech 5-2. Beat Baylor 6-2. Lose to Kansas 6-3. Beat Kansas State 7-3. Beat Iowa State 8-3. And beat UCF 9-3. So West Virginia this year will go. Their way too early record prediction right now for me is 9-3. And the last team we are going to be doing today is Virginia Tech. And I have Virginia Tech winning 8 or 9 games. And let's get to their schedule. So West Virginia Tech starts the year on the road against Vanderbilt. I think that's a win, so they're 1-0. They come home and play Marshall. They will be 2-0 after that game. I think Marshall's going to be okay this year. At Old Dominion win, so they're 3-0. Then they play Rutgers at home. Win 4-0. Lose to Virginia 4-1. Beat Duke 5-1. Lose to Miami 5-2. Beat Stanford 6-2. Beat Syracuse 7-2. Lose to Boston College 7-3. I think they stun Clemson. I do think Clemson's going to be good this year. But I think they beat Clemson to go to 8-3, and they lose to Georgia Tech 8-4. So Virginia Tech's way too early record prediction is 8-4. And then here we go with my prediction, my preview of the divisional round game between the Buccaneers and Lions today. I think this is actually going to be a really good game. But I don't know who's going to win. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game and not a lot of defense. But here's my 3 keys to victory for the Buccaneers. And it's going to sound the same as it did last week against the Eagles. Number 1, limit turnovers. Don't turn the ball over. You don't turn the ball over. Look what happened last week. You didn't turn it over against Philly in the wild card round, and you ended up winning. If you play with that same formula this week and don't turn the ball over, you'll be in the game at halftime with a chance to win it in the second half. 2, limit Amon-Ra St. Brown. Keep him under 150 yards receiving. If you could do that, you will have a really good chance to win the game today. 3, limit the Detroit running backs. Hold them under 90 yards combined rushing. Those are my 3 keys on defense for the Buccaneers. Well, one of them's offense and defense, and the other 2 are defense. So on offense, here's my 3 keys on offense for the Buccaneers. Number 1, have a lot of explosive plays. You have 2 or 3 good wide receivers that could get you 20 to 25 yards on one catch. One of them being rookie Trey Palmer. And I think if you get him involved early in the game, you will have the best chance to win this game. Number 2, no sacks. Don't let Baker get sacked. If Baker gets sacked, you lose this game and your season's over. And 3, feed Mike Evans the ball early and often. And I'm going to give you a bonus one on offense. Establish the run game early. Run the ball. Make Detroit have to stack the box to force you to throw the ball. Because if you can't establish the run, they're going to make you one-dimensional, which means you're going to have to throw the ball the whole game. And then they're going to stack the box with 7 or 8 guys and make you run the ball. You don't want that. If you can run the ball, run the ball. Same with throwing. If they give you the opportunity to throw the ball, throw it. Whether it's short, medium, or deep, throw the flipping football. Throw the ball. But, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for today's show. I will see y'all back here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for my college basketball rankings, players of the week, conference games to watch, and more. But till the next video, I'm going to leave y'all with a piece of positivity. Never give up. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Keep following your dreams. Don't let somebody tell you can't. Can't, never could unless you tried. But, ladies and gentlemen, until the next video, that's going to do it for me. Have a great day.